Hello, welcome to a brief little tutorial on substitution. I'm working with your the handout I gave you, 2-42. You can access it on the web page as you're accessing this. I'm going to go through the first problem and the fourth problem. So here's the first problem. What I want to do is I want to do substitution because I notice right off the bat that this x is all by itself. All by itself. So what that means is that whenever I see an x, I can refer to it as 2y minus 7. Same thing. So I'm going to rewrite the first equation. I'm going to start off with 3, and then the very next thing is an x. So let's trade that x out and turn it into 2y minus 7. Same thing. That's what the equal means up here. Same thing. So 2y minus 7, then plus 2y equals 15. So I've just substituted, traded out the x for what it says it is, 2y minus 7. And now I only have one variable. I can solve that equation and get one answer. So going through, I'll just kind of talk through as I go. I got 6y minus 21 plus 2y equals 15. And I like to combine my y's. So 2y and 6y make 8y minus 21 equals 15. I'll add 21 to both sides because I like to get numbers on one side, variables on the other. So 8y is equal to 36. So to finish this off, you got to make a 1 by the y. So divide by 8. Divide by 8, and I got y equals, well, 36 eighths, which you can divide by 2 to get 9 halves, or if you're a decimal type person, you can change it to 4.5, your choice. So there we go, we have y. Now remember, whenever you have two linear equations, or just two equations in this system here, I guess it doesn't matter if they're linear, we can find where they cross. And that's our solution to our system of equations. So I have y, and I have this equation right here. So maybe if I plugged in my y value, I could get x. So x then should equal 2 times, and then I'll plug that in, 4.5. So I plugged in my y value into where I had y before, minus 7. So x would equal 9 minus 7, which is 2, right? So the point where these two lines cross should be the x value of 2, comma, the y value of 4.5. And that should be my answer. Let me box in my answer so I keep track of that. Let's do a check here. Most everything I've done using this equation right here. Let's use that top equation and check. Does 3 times, can I plug in my x value, 2, plus 2 times 4.5, will that really give me 15? Now, if this is true, any point that's on this line right here, any point that's on this line, when I plug in the x value and the y value, should give me back 15. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 times 4.5 is 9, and 6 plus 9 is 15. It works. I know I got the right answer. Okay, going to the next problem. Next problem is number 4 on your packet. So I'm going to start off with substituting in for the variable that's all by itself. And so I notice here that y is all by itself. So y, also known as this. Anywhere I see y, I can change it to 0.75x minus 0.25. So I'm going to do that. 0.2x plus 0.5. And now I got to the y. So I shall plug in its other name, 0.75x minus 0.25. Okay, equals 1.6. There we go. So, like you solve any equation, just go ahead and probably distribute. So, I don't know about you, but I like to refer to it as tasting the rainbow. I got to distribute that into both. So we have 0.2x still, nothing done there, plus 0.5 times 0.75. I don't know about you, I used a calculator, and I got 0.375x minus 0.5 times 0.25, and that gave me 0.125. 5 times 25 is 125, if you do that, and when you have two decimals like that, equals 1.6. There we go. Combining my x's, so let's let our x's combine to get 0.575x minus 0.125 equals 1.6. I like to get x's on one side, numbers on the other of my equal sign. The equal sign is your balance. So whatever you have on one side, and we get x's on one side, we can eliminate everything down to just being x equals. So I will get rid of this by adding 0.125. I'm going to add 0.125. Didn't line up my decimal very well, did I? So I get 0.575x equals, now be careful, I mean you can add these together. There's one whole point, 0.6 and 0.1 make 0.7, and after the 6 you can add zeros. Or you could just use a calculator. I think I did. So anyway, there you go. We want to get x by itself, so I shall divide by 0.575. Ooh, I was going to write an x. Don't do that. X does not belong there. Your goal is to make a 1 by the x. If you divided by x also, then you'd get x in the denominator on the other side when you divide the other side by that. 0.575. No x. We want this to turn into 1, and it does. Giant 1 right there. So x equals whatever that division problem is. And I don't know about you, but when I punched it in, I got 3. I thought, wow, that's fantastic. So once x equals 3, we'll come right back up to our equation. This would be the easiest one to work with, so I'll put a star by it. I have y all by itself, so I'm going to just come over here and go y equals 0.75, and the x value I got was 3, so I'm going to type that in, minus 0.25. Now you could do that by hand, or you could use a calculator, whatever feels best for you. So anyway, you just get y equals 2. Pretty amazing, huh? So the answer, I think, is a little space here. The x value would be 3, and the y value would be 2. And that's what I got. Then you can check your answer. If you have any questions, make sure you come in and get help.